Yo, what it do, y'all? We back at it again, man. It's your boy, the voice of the culture, man. You know what I do, man. I just continue to just keep setting myself up with greatness, man. So today, this brother that I'm sitting next today, man, today is, man, once again, another situation of just stumbling across great talent. And I stumbled across him because I guess, man, it was just meant to be. And damn, I'm here today. And I sound the way I sound because, yo, it's crazy how people don't understand how life can take you. You know what I mean? Sometimes, man, it ain't all about who you know. It's just being involved. And I'm just telling everybody, y'all got to start getting involved with life and what's going on around us, man. We got a lot of great talent, man. This is another brother from Bergen County. And I'm saying this because this is Bergen County talent right here. This ain't far left. This ain't far right. This right here. This the home team, man. And he's put together some great projects, but this project that's about to drop, man, man, I don't even know what to say about it. To me, it's timeless. You know what I mean? But we gonna get into that, man. But welcome to the show, my man Lefty, man. Leffway, man. What's up, baby?
What's going on?
I appreciate you, King.
Likewise.
And I appreciate the opportunity.
Likewise.
And first and foremost, before I get into anything, man, I gotta give you your flowers, man. Yo, you were definitely a major asset to the game. And I say that not just because you're a lyrical killer, but also your talent. You're a talented individual, brother.
Thank you.
From somebody that can write, mix, master, engineer, put together, and still deliver their own project. Yo, you're a one-man marching band, yo, and I swear to you, bro, I've been listening to your project since you sent it to me all week. It's been on heavy rotation. Yo, it's honestly, man, one of the top 3 things I've been listening to all year besides my man Park, and shout out to my man Twan Don who just dropped. And these are all Bergen County.
Yep.
These are all Bergen County MCs that I've been listening to from the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? I just got on your joint, but I had to do my research to do this, and man, you've been tearing down, yo, anyway, man, we getting to that. Welcome to the show, man. And
thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yo, man, like, I'm gonna just keep it a blunt, man. Keep it a funky with you, man. Who's Leffway, man?
Man, Leffway is, he's a dreamer. He's a dreamer. He's a kid from Teaneck, New Jersey. Leffway is music. Leffway is a creative that is just trying to use this as a vehicle to be who I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And touch and reach the people I'm supposed to reach. And it's crazy you even asked me that, right? Because I had to think about that for a minute. Like, that's such a crazy question to ask somebody. It could be surface, it could be deep. But like, for me, man, I'm just a kid that had a dream to create something using his gift and live my life out through that gift. And yeah, that's what it is.
Yo, honestly, bro, you know what I mean? I respect it because you got a song, not a song, a skit on your joint, The Mirror. And I felt like that skit, when everybody get ready to get this album, which you better go get, please.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, they'll hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
That skit is the soundtrack to a lot of people's lives. And I knew from that skit it was a soundtrack to yours. But at the same time, what you put into that skit made me look into the mirror at myself.
Wow.
So you touching us just off a skit because you giving us the pure you.
Yeah, like when I go into making a project, and this is collectively like my fourth, I go into like creating an experience. I'm inspired by artists that create just an experience. It doesn't have to be rap all the time. Sometimes it's taking a moment to set the scene. Mirror, for example, happens to be the intro. So before we get into any music, I wanted to set the scene. Like, I look at it like a live show. So boom, the lights cut out, the stage is set, the audience is ready, and you get Mirror to kick it off. It kind of allows me to, anything is a cheat code, because anything that I put underneath Mirror is free game after that.
Right.
I set the umbrella.
Exactly.
Anything that comes after that, you know you know what's going on in this album. And it was important for me to kick it off that way because of the title. I used to sleep at night.
That was heavy.
Right? So the first thing that I'm going to think about when I hear that title is why.
Or what is he dealing with that he ain't sleeping at night?
or what's going on.
Right.
But it could be a good thing too, right? Because the idea of that concept, I mean, it's really highlighting my last year that I went through was what brought forth the album, right? But when I thought about a lot of these records are years old too.
I saw that.
These are older records.
I saw
Some
that.
of them are cut last week, and some of them I've had no problem for a long time. And the fact that they still all fit together to create synchronicity throughout the story, I was like, yeah, this is crazy. So some of it is stress points. Like, man, I'm not sleeping because of stress, right? And some of it is because I've been grinding.
Yeah.
So you hear that through records like Power Trip. I've been up for 4 days. I've been up for 5 nights. Sacrifice for the Broadway bright lights. I'm going to get it, right? You hear it on Touch the Sky, the in my career, people I've worked with throughout my career. And I'm not sleeping because I'm grinding. You know what I'm saying? So there's a mix of, whether I'm going through some crazy stuff or whether I'm just going after it. I used to sleep at night.
But the fly thing about it, it makes people want to listen to it. See what I'm saying? And I'm telling you from my experience, because I don't know who else heard it, but I was blessed. So as I'm riding, like I told you, I'm at work and I'm driving, and it was like, okay, what's next? Hold up, why is he not sleeping at night? Hold up, what's going on? Now I gotta dive in and see what's going on. So it puts the curiosity cap on. You know what I mean? Like you said in Touch the Sky, you even said, yo, I'm a waiter. I'm doing the tables. Like, yeah, the Touch the Sky, when you did that verse, it took me back, and I said this to you off air, but I'm gonna say it to you in front of the masses. When I heard Touch the Sky, because I go from the top 3, then I'm going down to the bottom. That's the way I like to listen to my music. Touch the Sky gave me that same excitement that the College Dropout got. Because now you putting me somewhere where I can understand you. I'm seeing you waiting the tables, hustling that, but then when you leave there, it's like you taking off all that and you put on the other cape to go hit the studio and engineer and work with other artists and run around. I've been grinding all day to do this, now here go the second grind, because this is what this game brings. This game is a nightlife. So this is another reason why I ain't sleeping at night, because this game is a nightlife. Very thing, okay, far you get, you do mainstream, but at night is you in the clubs, you pushing it to the DJs, you in the strip clubs, you in the studios.
Everything that people don't see.
Exactly, it's going on at night, man.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this before we dive into all this greatness. Yo, where did it all start from? It had to be a seed planted somewhere, man.
Yeah, man. My older brother used to be in music, and he was incredible, and that had got me into it in the very, very, very beginning. And his ear for music was crazy because he used to listen. He's the one that put me on to Rough Riders, Rockefeller, Murder Inc., that era. So Jadakiss was the forefront of the car when we were driving. Like, you weren't getting in his car unless you were listening to Jadakiss.
Well, he also knew bars.
Yes.
So he wasn't just listening to music, he was listening to hip hop. He knew
at
lyrics.
that time, that's what it was. It was ciphers. It was bars. It was being able to put crazy metaphors together. It was the battle era. It was a lot going on. So I found an early love for writing. Me and a group of friends of mine, we used to go, just like people would go home and watch TV, or people would go home and some people had played sports. Some people went home and wrote. We used to write. We would book studio time. And I remember the first time I went to the studio and I recorded and just heard my vocal come out, I was just like, yo, people do this for a living, and they get paid incredibly well to do that. That's crazy. Like, I've never come across something that you just genuinely love. Just genuinely love, you know what I mean?
Out of pureness.
So I knew it was never a forced thing to do music. I would start writing in class.
It just came to you.
Yeah, I would tell my mom I did my homework and I was really writing 16s. Like, yeah, it just came.
Right. But you were very, you know what I mean? The thing about your writing is you wasn't just writing, you were also sketching. You know what I mean? You was extra sketching for us because, and I said that because, please go to Bars 95 and see his amazing freestyle. You sketched that whole shit and I saw it. And you stood there with confidence. That's the thing that really made me want to kick it with you. Your confidence. When you stood in that room, and I seen a lot of people don't understand when you gotta do homework on artists. I watched the people that was around you in that cipher. I watched how they looked at you. I watched how they heads. I watched when they put their hand on it.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
yo, he is commanding the room, and he's standing here with all the confidence in the world. Yo, everybody doesn't have that confidence.
Yeah, man, you started early. It wasn't always like that. I had to work at it.
But it started from just you writing.
It started from me writing, and then it started from my rest in peace. My old manager, his name was Josh. He used to bring me around to like different barbecues and be like, "Yo, Leff, just cipher them, just rap for them, or battle, or this or that." And I would, and every time, it'd just be like, "Bro, who is that?" You know what I mean? I just got this like sparked reaction. I never had got your man is cool. Like I never got it. It was always like a yo. You know what I mean?
That's what it was for me. Like, what the fuck's going on right here?
Yeah.
But the confidence in the delivery, it makes it even more like, hold up, he's standing on this shit. He ain't just, okay, did I get it right? Did I catch him? It's more like, yo, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got from it. But your writing skills also show that you're a very educated young brother.
Thank you.
Because it shows that talent. A lot of artists, you're not as educated. Let's just call it what it was because the words fit. You gotta understand. It's not just hip hop, it's also word play. Punchlines are word play, it's formulas, it's a recipe. And I could tell you a cooker. Like you said, you and your friends went home and wrote.
Yeah,
that means y'all was in the kitchen cooking.
And I grew up on lyricists. And I understood the difference of people that were able to put words together and be clever, and I understand the power of words. The power of words could get you a crazy job. The power of words could diffuse an argument. You know what I mean? Like, words changed my life. Words might have saved my life. Right? So, especially when it comes to...
Or inspired your life.
Or inspired my words are everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, when I write, and I'm channeling a space where I want to express where I'm at, and match like the feel of the beat and all these other things that go into it. Like, yeah, bro, words are important, and that's what favored me to the lyric side of things versus the other way.
I mean, but at the same point in time, though, King, you also studied, because I feel like, and I could be wrong, but if you're a writer, you have to write from a certain space. You have to be able to put the pen to the pad to make it make sense to the music. It's a marriage, it's a relationship. It's like when you start dating a girl, you get a number. Then y'all talk for a while. Then y'all go out to eat. Then after y'all go out to eat, you come into the crib. Now a whole relationship done start in the child mind. So that's how I feel like the game is, because you gotta start somewhere, grow, elevate, then mature. Because you said off the camera, you was doing poetry first.
Yeah, like I was telling you too, like when I first started writing and ciphering and stuff, I was talking about everything I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Because
I think that's everybody though.
I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. But for me, I was listening to that shit, and it wasn't about living a certain lifestyle. It was just about, yo, how crazy can I say the same thing in a different way? You know what I mean? And at the time, that was the topic of discussion. You know what I mean? The Locks was ahead, Dipset was ahead, and these things, you know, certain lifestyles being, but it didn't matter. It wasn't even about me telling my truth and all these things at that time. It was just about getting the technique down, loving putting these words together and coming up with these clever metaphors and punchlines. That's what like always sparked my ear, hearing something. That's why Jada was my favorite coming up, because he grandfathered the setup to me. And y'all scared, I could tell. That's the setup. Because I'm going to get bucks like Milwaukee, because like Sam Cassell, one of the craziest punchers to this day, right? But when I heard lines like that, I'm like, yo, it wasn't about did he really sell and all these things. It's the fact that you threaded that in. This is so early on, and I'm young at the time. I'm just like, bro, he set it up to finish you at the end. You know what I mean? So
right.
I was like, wow. So I started gravitating to that formula and just loved punchlines. And that's how it really grew into. And then what happened was I was walking home from school one day with one of my boys, and he asked me a pivotal question. He was just like, yo, what if you made it one day and they found out that's not your life? You know what I mean? They challenged your status quo in a sense. And I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, what does that even matter? He's like, cuz, bro, then the whole thing falls apart after. Like, what if that's not, I was like, yo, it's not important. Like, I don't know, bro. Punchlines, And then that shit sat with me so crazy. And I was like, yo. And then I started hearing the Jay-Z's later on, the early Kanye's and things like that, where they're like telling the truth about their life. And I was just like, wow. Like, now the teachers couldn't teach me and my mama couldn't beat me because that couldn't match the pain and my pops not seeing me. So with that sustain in my membrane, got on my pimp game, fuck the world, my defense came. Yo, didn't kill nobody in that, nothing. Just
told you what he was going through as a kid.
And then I was just like, what if I copy that blueprint? What if I apply that blueprint
To yourself.
to myself? And then I started realizing the emotions I was going through and writing about them. It could be anything, you know what I mean? But I was getting it out, and I was just like, yo, this feels different. It's bigger than music at this point. This is therapy. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, it just grew into a whole nother situation.
That's what I felt like your project is. I felt like I was sitting with my therapist. Just listening to music, blowing some reefer, and he just asking me questions.
Yeah.
Because emotions carry us far. Sometimes we overthink our emotions. But you being a talented MC and a writer, you didn't overthink your emotions because, yo, this is who I am. So when you did versus, like, man, on Static, when you said, yo, man, something about, even if you block me, I'm still get around you.
I'm still, yeah. Even if you block me, I'll still deliver. I'll still be delivered. Something like that.
Yo, that right there was determination. Yo, I'm telling you all this, and no matter however you get this, you're gonna receive it.
For sure.
And I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna drop it in your lap. It's like I'm gonna drop it off. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, I'm letting you know I'm not just doing it just to be doing this. I gotta put, you know what I mean? And that wordplay for that, because you're talking to someone special, is so relatable to the masses because a lot of us get blocked. A lot of people, you get, I blocked him, I blocked, I ain't messing with her. Yo, it's so crazy that you can reflect that and people can say, damn, I understand what he was talking about. That's like, once again, you sitting talking to your therapist. And just listening to your response.
That's the thing with this project, right? When there's two ways you could go into writing, in my opinion. Like when a record comes on and you're about to connect with it, you can create for the consumer, or you can produce from the creative, right?
Is that a problem sometimes?
Say that again?
Can that be a problem sometimes?
I think it can and it can't. It depends on your intention behind it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you're producing for the consumer, the problem that can happen from that is you're always gonna let the consumer spin you into what they want to hear.
Basically, like what your man said, but what about they find out that's not true?
Not even that, right? It's that, and it's also you're just trying to be liked, right? So you're not producing from an organic space. You're producing from a please like this space, and if you don't like it, I'll cut something else you like. Just because you have talent doesn't mean you use it properly. You know what I'm saying?
Woo, that's a tough one, champ.
So, I think Lauryn Hill said this. She said it on the Unplugged album. She was like, "Me first, me first," and then whoever connects with it, connects with it. If you don't, catch the next one. But I'm not about to sit here and try to satisfy every ear, which is the most impossible task ever. I'm gonna make sure I cover bases. I'm gonna make sure sonically that I go where I wanna go and hit all these different emotions. And there's times you wanna celebrate, there's times you're upset, there's times you're feeling these different things, and we can cover that sonically. What I'm not about to do is try to rank records to hope people like it. Like, this is the music that is the theme song of my life at these moments, and I'm here to share that. If you gravitate, great. If you don't get this one, we got more coming. I think Andy Warhol said something like that. He was like, pretty much while you put out art and let people decipher whether it's good or not,
right,
you're already creating the next thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's how I'm living my creative space at this point. I'm not worried about if it's not for someone, then it's not for them, and it might be for somebody else. And that's where the bigger picture comes into play. This is supposed to reach who it's supposed to reach. Period.
So for you, I feel like it's you're not going through that process chamber. You're not going through the fast food market, the McDonald's and the Popeyes. You going through, yo, you got to come down to the kitchen and we going to cook. You got to wait 15, 20 minutes to get this good meal.
Right. And then the other side of that is that there's nothing wrong with Popeyes and the McDonald's
Right,
thing
because it's
either.
good every once in a blue moon. It's convenient.
Right? Can't knock that. Get your attention, get your bag, get your opportunity, get what's the intention behind it. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because it definitely gives you an
For
opportunity.
me, I can't create like that. Because I can't go
You
walk
matured
that.
though.
Yeah.
But you matured though. At one point, maybe you might have been in that space in the
But
beginning years.
some people, I've been around certain creators where it's not even an immature space. They really just look at music like a product. There's no
Okay.
yo, I'm making this record to get it placed on this market. Cool. It had that's the intention behind it. It had that purpose because they want to get that placement. They want to get it on this TV show. It's for the theme of this, so they create it like a product.
Right.
An album like I'm putting out is not for that.
Right.
I am the product. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm putting that on the market.
Right.
But that's why I say to the other part.
But your product that you're putting out now makes you want to go back and, well, hold up, let me see where the other product is at. Let me see. Because now I'm, like you say, you're fourth. Now I want to go back.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
So you would enjoy the first two because it's bars. I mean, I'm talking, high level rap. And that was younger me I think you would enjoy that because you were looking for that coming in because you found me on bars on that.
Fact,
right?
I definitely was kind of like, yo, I was like, hold up, this is it.
And when me and you spoke, all I was saying was, when I do ciphers and those kind of platforms where you just rap and it's bar heavy and I do it because I still love that space. I just don't want to be stuck there. So for me, Bars on 95, a sway in the morning, a flex on the radar, like these platforms that are hosting bars is fire. I look at those like that's the Rucker Park.
Exactly.
I could go there and just show every crossover I can. You're supposed to do that. Versus I don't want to get stuck there. I want to be able to, explore the idea that I can make music.
Right.
And just look, if I'm going to be in that kind of arena, I can move there. And I can move there at a high level. But then also, on this side, I'm not getting stuck there. I'm trying to grow into a space where I can produce artistry.
And that's just exactly what you did on this album. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
My thing to you is, I got a question, man. Who was your top 5 when you first started? Because I know your top 5 has changed now.
Oh, when I first started?
So who was your top 5 when you first really got heavy into the music?
So I came up in the mixtape era. You're talking Green Lantern. You're talking Clue. You're talking Wu Kid. Like all the tapes that were coming out. So at that time, Jada was number 1. Fab was heavy. Cassidy was crazy.
It's crazy. I just restarted listening to Cass again too.
Yeah, like old Cass, right?
Yeah, I just started re-listening to him. Crazy.
Yeah, man, insane. My top 5 at that time. I even like Banks, Jewels, like people that were just like really coming with bars.
That's what I'm saying, is at that time that you're in that space, I understand the MCs that's out. You know what I'm saying? Compared to what's now, because it's still, at the end of the day, you may not say all of them, but I know Jada's still in there.
Yeah, it wasn't like I came up and my favorite rapper was Biggie and Pac, and I wasn't there. I was like really interested in the bars. I was really like that. Like I always would listen to verses to be like, all right, what metaphor or punch am I gonna hear that I haven't heard that's clever? And these guys were elite.
At that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially Fab and them at that time. It was basically sparring matches.
For sure.
What about Nas for you though?
So it's funny, my man Major put me on to Nas, and we used to battle all the time. Who's better, Jada or Nas? I wasn't letting Jada go, bro. I was like, absolutely not.
That's a tough battle because I think they two different MCs. That's my opinion for the masses. I can't really say who's the best MCs with Nas or Jada because
It's
Nas
crazy. I was talking to Ron about it too.
Nas will take you down memory lane.
Nas will do that. But I'll say this though, I think Nas won the battle. Like I was pro Ether.
The Ether, he killed them, man. Hov was my top. He killed
But Takeover, the older I got and really listened to it, I was like, wow.
The Takeover was some immature shit for me with Hov.
Yeah.
It was very immature because now you're getting petty and he just kind of disrespected you. And I'm a Nas and Jay fan. Jay is my number one, but Nas for me, Illmatic, that first album, yo.
You know what's crazy?
It was crucial.
I'm still deciphering Illmatic, and that's actually an album I would probably love to sit with you one day and just play, because I'm a Stillmatic fan over Illmatic, and people might fight me on that all day, you know what I mean? But again, I'm still because I had to be honest with myself. I didn't want to just say Illmatic because everyone else was saying it. I really listened to it, and I'm like, yo, it's incredible. I think a lot of it too was, how can he write that at that age?
That's what.
So that I say, well,
that's the whole situation.
But which album do I play more? I play Stillmatic more personally. But
I'm the opposite. I gotta go with Illmatic. I gotta go with Illmatic, and it was written because
it was crazy too.
What he said, the verses that he gave you in Illmatic at his age was like, yo, come on. I woke up early on my born day. I'm 20, it's a blessing. The essence of adolescence leaves my body not freshened. My physical frame is celebrated because I made it. When quarter through life, some godlike things created. Got rhymes, 365 days annual plus some. Yo, he said that at 17 years old.
And I couldn't receive that when I was 17. When I was 18, I couldn't. Those are rhymes that it was ahead of my time. I was so stuck on, nah, man, you crazy, Jadakiss is better. And there might be moments, you know what I mean? But overall, I mean, Nas is a titan, bro.
I mean, that album
is not even debatable.
Gave us AZ, Life's a Bitch. You know what I mean? AZ gave you the greatest bar of his career on that album.
For sure.
And that's what Nas did. And he gave you Memory Lane, and he gave you Represent, and he gave you One Love. It's like, how is this kid doing this? And it's like it puts you in that window in Queens, and you just looking out the window, looking at all the shit that's going on. But that's what the music does, and that's what your project did. When I listened to it, it took me back to those albums. Like I said, the Kanye West, College Dropout. I was in North Carolina in the middle of the trap, listening to College Dropout in the trap. And they like, yo, you listen to that? I said, yo, you don't understand what this guy's talking about through the wire. You know what I'm saying? It's him. It's no gimmick. That's the difference with your music. It's no gimmick. I gave you bars 95, but here's the other side of me. This is who I am.
Right. And it's important to do that, because if I don't give people where I'm at currently, they'll never be able to grow with me. Right? Like one of the biggest things I learned from Jay-Z was this. I always tell people this: how do you go from writing Big Pimpin', Spending Cheese, we talking Big Pimpin', right? Fast forward to 444, and he's telling his wife, like, please pick up the phone, come back to Rome. Now you're saying please to a female. What pimp, right? But you could tell everything, the growth in between. I'm just like, wow, you could really grow with. Those are artists, people like that, where they tell you where they're at the moment. It's gonna change, because time is temporary. It's not permanent. But music, we're able to freeze time and move on to the next, freeze it, move on. So you get these albums of growth, like, damn, he was here, then he was here, and it's just like, yo, you're able to really like grow with that person, you know what I mean? And that all comes with, again, just the therapy side of creating it, but then on the consumer side, it's just like, I'm able to be a fan or become one, you know?
Well, after this project, if y'all don't know, y'all better get on it, because
we were talking off camera.
That's crazy.
And I forgot the artist we were talking about, but you were like, that person is somewhat stagnant. Like, he never grew.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the guy that never grew and just stayed in one place musically, when there's so many other ways you could capitalize. You know what I mean?
And that's very disappointing, because like we talked about it, I was disappointed because I like the music, and I damn near got your catalog, but like your catalog is the same. You know what I'm saying?
You become predictable that way.
It's I already know what's gonna happen. We're gonna talk about this, we're gonna talk about that, we're gonna get fresh, we're gonna sell crack, we're gonna ride, we're gonna be in Miami. Yeah, we did that, but damn, how long we gonna keep doing that?
And yo, sometimes, again, right, they have their core fan base that loves that, and that's great.
Right.
But my man was telling me, like, yo, if you can do more, then do more.
Yo, that's what athletes are. They do more. Like, that's why you have ball players. That's like you have, I'm going to compare ball. Dirk Nowitzki was a 7-footer shooting 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
But when he played Miami in the finals, he went and got in that paint. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what y'all thought I could do? I forgot I'm a 7-footer. I got moves too. Mm-hmm. Like Akeem was. Akeem just ain't play defense. He had moves. That's what a lot of these artists need to be. Even in my game, even in a podcast game, you have to be able to pivot. Mm-hmm. Because people gonna get tired of the same, yo, that's like clothes. Clothes is recycled. How many pair of Jordans and came out? My first pair was in '86. I wore them around the corner at Lincoln School.
Crazy.
My grandson is less than seven months, he's wearing Jordans.
Wow.
That's the recycle of Jordan. And he's still going crazy.
Yeah.
But the growth of it and the recycle, it's the same thing, but it's the growth
again,
of it.
right, it's those moments. Like, yo, he wore these in that game. You know what I'm saying? Or it was these moments that made those sneakers or whatever number pivotal at the time. Or he was in that movie, or he was doing these things in his career that gives it that influence, that gives it that fly behind it. So I think it all works the same.
That's why we talk about the pivot. You're not just an MC though. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're not just an MC that goes and does bars and go here and get in ciphers. You're also behind the boards. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about how did that game start for you? What made you dive into that part of it? Are you a producer as well?
Dabbling.
Okay.
Actually, you know what's crazy? Mirror, I put those keys behind it. That was a royalty-free joint. And then on Damn, I Need Some Sleep, I put that together last minute. Man, the engineering, so when I was coming out of high school, I did not want to go to college, bro. It's not that I didn't want to go, I just didn't know.
It wasn't for you.
What. I just didn't know for what. And I'm not about to sit here and just pick anything. And my mom at the time was just like, pick something that you like, but go for something. I'm not going to say no to going to, you know what I mean? That's a blessed opportunity. You know what I mean?
Right,
but I didn't want to just pick anything.
And just be there and say, right? I'm here just to be here.
I was like, I love music. There's no school to go be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? My ego was way different at the time. My ego was crazy because I was just like, I'm going to get a deal. So even when I went to college.
Where'd you go to school at?
I went to AI in New England Institute of Art. It was up in Boston.
Okay. That's why I talk about Boston.
Yeah.
See the connection?
Yep.
Yo, reach the Boston. Something's going on in Boston.
Yeah. So I went to college in my first year. I thought I was gonna get signed. So I didn't, I was cool with C's. I was never trying to fail, and I was never trying to be the A+ guy, right? But bro, it's crazy. My last year of my last semester. On the last semester of my last year, and this is how hard-headed I was just like, it just hit me like, yo, if you learn this, you can apply it to yourself, idiot. You know what I'm saying?
You had a moment, had a mirror moment.
I had a mirror moment. And I know it sounds obvious, like, duh, why wouldn't you just go and then you would apply it along the way, which I did, but it was always like, I thought because I went to school for this, I had to be that, and I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be an artist. And then my last semester, I was like, yo, I went to the school every day till they kicked me out of the computer lab or the studios when the time was run. And I would just insanely try to mix my vocal to the greatest mix at that time. So at that time I was mixing to I would listen to Kanye, Rihanna, Chris Brown. To me, they had crazy mixes back then.
Right.
And I would just insanely try to match my vocal to sound like that. Because then I got into what if I can improve my quality too? It wasn't even about being an engineer in the industry or trying to create a job from it or anything like that. it was just me trying to enhance what I had already. And that's what got me into it, because I started like just little things. I would get one thing. I got my laptop, or I got a mic. I didn't get my speakers yet because I had headphones. So I didn't go out and buy all the studio gear right away in the inbox. And just little by little, I just started like acquiring things. And then I was mixing. I was making music and I was just mixing it, bro, like crazy. And then I got kind of nice, you know what I mean? And from there, I came back from school and I started serving tables at Cheesecake Factory for a while. And while I'm serving at Cheesecake Factory, I'm still making music and doing stuff, but I got a text randomly one day, rolling up silverware on the patio outside.
Right.
And my stepfather was just like, yo, I just ran into Memphis Bleek's manager. He want to meet with you. It's like, what? Yo, long story short, ended up meeting with his manager, and that's my guy, man. He always told me like, yo, Leff, I could bring you around. I'm not promising nothing. I'm not promising you a record deal. I'm not promising you engineering. I'm not promising, whatever. See where things go. And at the time, I was sharp at music, but I was still cutting things that I thought it was still gimmicky.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so from there, long story short, I ended up running around with some of the Rockefeller stuff. And from there, I met this guy named TT, who they were working on a private project at Rock the Mic, and they brought me in. I started engineering at Rock the Mic, which was Hove's studio at the time with OG Juan. And from there, and it was crazy because I would go in at like 6 at night, right? Get out at like 10 in the morning. Think about that, 6 at night till 10 in the morning, just to get back to Cheesecake Factory at 11:30 in the morning to work a double. Running around, people telling me they want extra lemons and honey mustard, and
I'm the one who asked for extra lemons.
Nobody knew where I came from. Nobody knew what I was doing after my shifts and all these things. But I'm pulling this stuff, and even from there, I had built like a good network, and I was able to. I stopped serving tables, and I started my studio inside my apartment.
Right.
I would just get clients by referrals, word of mouth, and I was doing like 20 an hour. I just wanted to get people in and practice and try to make the same kind of money I was making at the restaurant. And from there, it just grew. It grew because even on days I wasn't engineering, I would start driving Uber, stuff like that. So I was balancing out my income. Like, let me just try to, if I'm
You're
not
grinding.
I was grinding.
You're grinding. That's it. You're grinding, champ.
Yeah.
You're grinding.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it grew
grinding.
into this, you know what I mean, and other places. So it's been an interesting run for sure.
Champ, I gotta be honest with you, and I ask everybody this: how many times have you quit? How many times you said fuck this shit?
Yo, every day, man. But the thing is, when shit happens and you get into a storm or you get into a place of like, fuck everything, right? Every time I go home, I got a studio set up at the crib. I'm like, yo, the music is still here though, no matter what.
Music's not going nowhere.
Music's not going anywhere. I still see speakers and the mic, and I'm like, all right, and that's what keeps me in. But you have to be a certain type of build to not just be in this, but to maintain it.
Right.
You get it fast, you lose it fast. Anybody can hit a half-court shot, but like to stay in this joint, whether it's through the up and the down and the longevity of it, it creates a certain type of build for sure.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of that because I always tell my man, I say, yo, it's nothing to get money. The hardest part is keeping it.
The hardest part is keeping it.
Everybody done had their own licks. You done had a lick, I done had my own lick.
It's the same thing with it could be a record deal.
That's what I'm saying.
It's easy to get, it's hard to keep.
You gotta sustain it,
life.
you know what I'm saying?
But I enjoyed the engineering because it was able to put me in a space where my value became higher in the room. The way I connect with clients is different because they know I make music, right? So they know I'm good. I can do what they do behind the mic most of the time, right? Unless it's like amazingly talented. Like they know I could do behind the mic and they know I could be behind the board. So they trust my ear and my direction a lot. And that has got me
Allowed you to-
well-rounded through music in general, because this is the thing, right? An engineer's job, right, in my opinion, to make it short, an engineer's full purpose and function is to get what's in your head out the speaker. That's A and that's C. So wherever B is, to get the artist to understand, like, whatever's in your head, if I could get what's in your head out the speaker, I win as an engineer.
Right.
So if I know how to do what you do in there, it's going to help me guide you even quicker and more efficient. So I lean on those skill sets, on being able to wear both hats to help me.
You said that in one of the songs too.
Yep. No cap.
Come on, man. You said that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a part of the game that a lot of people don't understand, or maybe they not understand about you, especially the new cats that's gonna jump on this wagon and ride this wave with you. They're gonna realize that, hold up, this cat is deliberately on the low talking shit. Cause really you're talking shit on the low. That's how I took it. Like, you say what you want, but I could do both of this motherfucker. So I'll do that, cause a lot of you motherfuckers only do one thing.
Yeah.
But you're saying it in a manner of respect too,
Yeah,
though.
it's not awesome like I'm better than.
Yeah, it's not,
what I mean?
but it's
just,
also letting you know I'm not a slouch at this. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because at the end of the day, you want to have longevity, and you also realizing, okay, if I can do that and that, people are going, I'm gaining more people too. Instead of just being stuck in that, okay, only thing you do is rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I said, before I knew you was an engineer, or all that, listening to your music, it took me to the Kanye, because he was the same way. Nobody wanted to hear him rap. They just wanted to hear him produce. He's like, no, I'm a rapper. I can rap too.
And I relate. I'm parallel with that story a little bit with engineering. It's like, yo, but you engineers, like, but I am an artist too, and I can create at a high level. So I have to learn when to put that ego. Everything is ego in this. And if you can learn to put it aside for the bigger picture of whatever the project is at that time, you'll also I feel like you'll be successful, because especially in hip hop, it's built a lot off ego.
90% of
90%. The 10% is the substance and
Right.
all the other stuff behind it. But yeah, it's just like, yo, I'm better than you and blah, blah, blah. But I don't, that's not my angle typically. But again, time and place, right? Because if we're going to go on the bars on 95 and we're going to go into these different lanes, now I got to
remind you.
Time and place.
I gotta let you know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
I'm not here to play. Let me ask, what happened with the deal? Whatever happened with the deal, bro?
I met with Def Jam one time, and as much as they were a fan and they loved what they heard and all these things, at the end of the day, we're in a different space in the business. And I had to look at it like this: like the way that the business is changing is they're not signing off talent; they're signing off of security, right? Like if I give you an X amount of an investment, show me how I could get that back. Not just because you're good. How many people are coming to your shows? How many people follow you? How many people engage? How many people buying your t-shirt? Why is this investment worth? It's not about the talent, it's about the return. So I understand why we didn't move forward with a deal that day or these things. Like,
Right.
But I was grateful for the meeting and
Because you learned something from it.
yeah, and I remember being there. He was the A&R I was sitting with. He was just like, man, Def Jam used to have 300 employees. We have 40 now. And that was at that time. And I was just like, what? Because we think Def Jam, we think this big
Think of
thing,
Def Jam.
right? And it's just like, and what happens is if you're an artist that goes, you break through and your project becomes big enough, Universal will come in and take care of your
Scoop
project.
you up.
Yeah, they'll kind of come in and go ahead and manage. But I was like, yo, Def Jam is a classroom. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I thought about, I think that labels have benefits in terms of obviously the loan, right? And then the resources.
Right.
Hey, we could get you on this tour just from a phone call and you can start running. Those are great, but like, what can y'all really do for me that I'm not already doing for myself? Those are questions we have to ask ourselves as artists too, because as the investment, we're the product, we're the value, right? So
product.
if you have the product, which is this music, and you have a situation, you want someone to come in and essentially own that. That's why they preach partnerships and all these things. So I'm learning, like I'm still learning my way too, but I'm not mad, for example, that it didn't go through.
And I can tell you never was. I never felt it, no, like that in your pain music. Like, I didn't feel like...
There was a time I was frustrated.
I mean, I didn't feel that in this project. Yeah. It's the only thing I've heard, you know what I'm saying?
No, not in this project.
But I'm quite sure you're
human.
Because
I was just, it was frustrating that
and then you seen a lot of whack motherfuckers too. Let's just be clear. You seen a lot of whack people. Let's just listen. It is what it is. You seeing gimmicks, bro. Pardon self.
No, it's frustrating.
You seeing gimmicks and you knowing.
Everyone's telling you you're great, you're next, you're the everything.
But
they won't move forward though. So I was like, and I used to scream. I used to be on phone calls and scream at these A&Rs that were like, where some of them were friends of mine or whatever. Yo, Leff, you're incredible. All right, so do something about it.
Push the button.
Yeah, stop telling me I'm good. Show me. Right, but they didn't have enough power. I don't want to sit in the room, and it was just like, eventually, it shit just got frustrating. Like, stop, But again, that's
your journey, though.
That's my journey.
Let's be clear. That's your journey. You know what I'm saying? That's your story. That's your resume. Because honestly speaking, without you getting a deal, look where life still took you. It still put you in the same rooms.
And that's what I was gonna say. As I acquired more credits through engineering, I just realized working with people at some of the highest level, like, this shit is still fundamental. Doesn't matter who goes in that booth over there. When I track them, they do the same thing I would do behind the mic. It's the same thing. They just happen to sell more records, have a bigger bank account, and more people know who they are. That's it. The fundamentals, though, of doing of being a recording artist, it's this, or engineering, like, so it didn't matter if I was engineering a credit anymore versus the kid that's down the street. You're just engineering.
Yeah.
Why does it matter? Because we're in a game of politics. So if I don't start naming names and all these things in this type of industry, you get overlooked. But as I started realizing, like, nobody's more special than nobody else.
Like, we paint the picture, though. Society paints the picture.
Yeah, I'm grateful to work with certain people that I have, right? Those experiences are unseen. I spoke a lot about it on the album.
Yeah.
But the overall piece of it, it's all the same though. If you break it down to just the basic piece of it, we're making music, bro. That's it.
It's the same form. Some people just got bigger platforms and a bigger machine behind them.
That's it.
That's all it is. But at the end of the day, that don't mean they greater than you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
LeBron ties his sneakers the same way
as Michael Jordan, Kobe, me, you know what I'm saying? It's just, what are we going to do to perfect our craft?
And it's not to degrade the greatness of.
Nah, it's not.
Right? When you work with, like, if you work with incredible artists, whether they have a plaque or not, it's just like when I see Patrick Ewing, AI, No Ring. Yo, if you work with greatness, you work with greatness. Right?
They still 50 all. They still in the Hall of Fame. They always going to be known for who they are.
And you sit and talk to some of these people.
And you can't take away from their greatness.
You can't take, never. I would never. But you sit and talk to some of these people and you find out what's behind the curtain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you find out how the magician did the magic trick.
Right.
It's not so fun anymore. You're not as amazed when you know how he did it, right? And when you look behind the curtain, it's not the prettiest back there. So
it's filthy.
Right? So, but we just love how the stage looks, and we love the
lights.
The lights and the crowd and the audience and then I got to a point, I got frustrated in creating music too, because I felt that I'm really taking the time to put my pain into this and put in real life situations and shit that I'm really going through, all for someone else's entertainment.
That's the deep way to think about it.
And I was just like, yo, I went through like a weird space with that where I'm just like, yo, like, I'll give y'all my pain this way and this, that, and the third, and then y'all just clap at the end. Wow, that was great. Nah, bro, this shit really sucks. I actually would rather not do. I'd rather be in y'all seat and be entertained. Right. But that's the gift and curse. That's the give and take. Because I've had those conversations with people, and it's just like, nah, Leff, like, what your music has done for me. And then when I have those conversations, I'm like, all right, cool. It kind of reverts purpose into what I'm doing. Like, yo, this shit really touched my soul, changed my life, blah, blah, blah. It's like, wow, all right, cool. You know what? Don't look at it like you're just some entertainment. look at it like you're touching people. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how you should look at it, because at the end of the day, it's your legacy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, when I first heard it, it touched me. I said, oh, man, it's...
Because that's what I realized, too, is like, we're all somewhat broken.
We all ain't no somewhat.
Right.
Everybody's fucking broken.
And it could be in different areas.
That's the point.
So I'm realizing as I started playing the project for people who are closer to me and all these things, a lot more conversations started happening. A lot more people like, yo, that's crazy. I went through that too. And for real? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's just, all of a sudden it strikes up these real conversations that's like, yo, these are the convos we should be having. It's cool to have fun, and it's cool to, those are moments too, but you can't do all that and not do. So I'm someone who wants to highlight those
because
aspects.
People are afraid to, it goes back to something we talked about. It's the ego. It's the pride. I can't let you see that side of me.
Right.
I can't let you know that I had a soft spot, or I'm not that, because you expected to see that killer, that murderer that you've been listening to, but really you soft as pumpkin pie. Mm-hmm. So in reality, like I say to everybody, we all have broken, we all, I told somebody, I said, everybody has mental illness. It's just how you cope with it. Yeah. And what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I know my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. So that's really my first and foremost therapist before a human. I put my faith in him before I put it in man.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to find your who and what are you doing? Like I every day I tell my kids this. Every day that you do something closer to your purpose. You don't let a day don't go by where you don't do something. I don't care if you make 5 steps. Make those 5 steps into your purpose. Because you'll put the same energy to make sure you get up, go get some fast food, do whatever you got to do. But are you doing something that is your purpose each day? And my daughter said, well, Dad, sometimes every day is different. I said, that's the days you push harder. And she was in college at the time. And she graduated. I said, that's when and shout out to her, today is her born day. But that's the conversation we had at one point. Like, yo, you just keep going. Your goal is to graduate. Now you graduated. And I told her that when she graduated, whispered, I said, yo, you graduated. She laughed because she knew what I was talking about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Each day, what are you doing for your purpose? I even asked cats in my job, yo, did you fulfill your purpose today? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about that shit. What are you doing? You just waking up, going to work, kissing the kids, kissing your wife. What's your purpose? What's your purpose? Not the purpose for your family. What's your personal purpose?
A lot of people
don't even know it.
Don't even know it. But that's crazy because there's a sermon that I listened to. He was talking about everything in life has a gift. Right? And the gift is inside of a seed. So like basically he was saying like the tree is inside of a seed. That's the gift of the seed. The gift of the tree is the fruit. The gift of the fruit is the nutrients. The gift of the leaves is oxygen. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a gift. Find yours so you know what you have to offer out, and live your life out through that. Like, and that was deep. I was like, damn, man. Yeah. From now on, it's about finding your gift, because you find your gift, you find your purpose, you find your purpose, you find your value.
See how it all, you know what I'm saying? And then you start, and when you realize that, you start to pursue that. And then when you realize that, you start to remove yourself from situations, around people, and things that's going on as well. So once you realize your purpose, you also structuring your life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I was grateful and blessed to find my gift young. A lot of people sometimes don't find it till later, but it's not a sprint either. So, you know what I mean?
Because a lot of people not in tune with themselves.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing, right? Like, what are you putting your time into? Like, ultimately, like where you end up is a result of what you put your time into.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So, what did you do this whole time in order to end up here? Whatever that is, could be good or bad, but that's how I operate too. Even, you know what I mean? So, to help me further my agenda and the calling on my life.
That's facts, because Hov said that a whole year done passed going nowhere fast. You know what I'm saying?
Hov said a lot of things.
To me, he got the most quotes in hip hop. I'm gonna be honest. Me and my man talk about that every day, bro. He got bars from Reasonable Doubts that really resonate today, as you and I are talking about. And that just goes back to what you're saying, the greatness of music. And I want to dive into this album, man.
Sure.
I gotta first and foremost talk about for those that didn't get an opportunity, really, it's dropping, man. March 1st on all platforms. Yo, please go tap in. We got the listening party coming up right here in Inglewood. We're gonna put that up and let y'all know what that's about. Mirror. Mirror for me was, once again, it was very therapeutic because when I heard you talk, it sounds so soulful over that music, but it made me, that one skit made me look into myself. And that day that I'm driving, I asked myself, yo, Dion, did you do your purpose? I went to my government.
Wow.
Dion, did you do your purpose today?
Man, I appreciate that, and I'm glad, because that was the purpose of it. I think is taking that reflective moment, and then realizing, like even towards the end of Mirror, like, man, what's crazy is it's not just me, right? I'm your mirror. Like I'm literally just reflecting of probably some of the things of what's inside of somebody else through the music.
That skit was just like, the skit for me, I'm going to illustrate it, was like this. It was like you were standing behind a mirror in front of me.
And shout out my man Alex Irvington. He's the one that's singing in the background.
Yeah, you got some cats harmonizing on these tracks too,
Yeah,
man. Like,
man.
I
That's the one
thought
thing
you
with this
really
project. I pushed every button when it came to pulling in some of the most talented people in the world that I know personally, that I can ask for these favors of this collab with. And
you put a marriage package together, brother. That
and what's crazy, I didn't realize it, right? I didn't even realize. I mean, I realized it when I knew what I was doing. But like when you start registering records with like for distribution or like your BMI and all that stuff, right, you start crediting people. I realized like, yo, I had mad help on this album. Like I realized how many people I had to text, like, yo, send me your BMI, send me your. I was like, yo, there's a lot of, but it was everybody. It was elite. Yeah, man. I'm grateful, for sure.
Power Trip.
Whew. Power Trip. Power Trip is the foundation to this project because it's probably the oldest record on there. And it was the record that I campaigned. We got it on Power 105. It was one of the first records I ever got on the radio. Like those are moments that I will never forget, no matter where my career goes. And you know, radio's not what it is, like what it used to be.
Far from.
But coming from where we come from, to get on Power 105 and have your vocal being played to
the world
essentially now, because with the internet, that was a moment for me.
That goes on your resume though.
For sure.
That's on your resume. You know what I mean? That's like winning the chip. Like we was talking about before the game, talking about the Eagles. Yo, when you talk about Jalen Hurts, you got to say NFL champion quarterback. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You have to put that in front of his name now.
Yeah.
Because this is my resume.
Yeah.
I'm not just Jalen Hurts. I'm championship MVP Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
So you talk about Leff, let's not forget about the Leff had a joint on 105. Yep. You know what I mean?
Nah, these are milestones for sure.
You know what I mean? And a kid from Teaneck.
Yep.
That started out just a listener.
Yep. Yeah, nah, it was a moment, man. I was like, I remember hearing it come on the radio. I'm just like, wow. I was actually in Harlem.
Come on, man.
125th in front of El Puertos.
Come on, man.
The joint
out of
came
all
on,
places.
yeah.
Come on, out of all places, man. Come on, man.
And I'm just like, yo, we had the car turned all the way up, and I was just like.
What was that moment for you in Harlem? And it's crazy because Harlem is so like the Mecca of New York a little bit. So to be in Harlem, hear your song.
I'm going to be real. It wasn't, Harlem created like this, I was in the city. And I was in the city that was playing the music. And it just, that created the atmosphere. But between you and I, could have been anywhere. Hearing my joint on the radio, I could have been anywhere. It's just,
But to be in Harlem, New York City, and your music being played in New York City.
Yeah, it was a moment.
And these people that surround you don't know that this is you, but the people that you know, that's your core group that's with you.
Right, so being outside, it definitely helped create the atmosphere.
Right.
Like, yo, I don't even know. And I was with my whole team, and they were just singing the lyrics, and everyone was just kind of looking like, yo, what's going on? And they were like, yeah, bro, that's him.
And it's not a mixtape, it's on the radio.
It's on the radio. So, and that record just, it was the record we campaigned. It just, like I said, it was the foundation to the project. to gotta show them who you are. Quit playing it safe, because there's a lot of you making me feel away. I mean, that's how we kicked off. And to go into I've been up for 4 days, 5 nights, sacrifice. I mean, and I'm performing this record South by Southwest, performing this record in Atlanta. I'm performing this record in New York. I'm performing, and like having people sing the hook with me, and it's still fairly new. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, man. So even those milestones also come with that. So
Right. Let's go about, I'm gonna go with one of my favorites, man. Disconnect, man. It's one of my top 3. I'm gonna give it my 3. That's my 3rd favorite.
Okay.
Disconnect,
man. Shout out Ron Thomas, man. We were in here, and Ron FaceTimed me like, Left, I got one for you. I don't want to hear nothing. I was like, yeah. Shot the email. That beat came on, and I was just like, crazy. And I had the beat for a little bit. I didn't know. I knew I was going to get on it. I knew it was a staple piece, but I just didn't know how I wanted to frame it yet. And again, going back to real life, just being transparent, right? Like, my grandmother is 97, right? Let's take it a step further back. When I was growing up, I lost a lot of family.
Okay.
Right?
You said that.
And yeah, that's why Disconnect was a staple piece, to the point I had to tee it up with an interlude, because I wanted to set that part
set the
for
tone.
it. And a lot of the times that I even went to church was for a funeral, unfortunately. So I had to battle. That's why I said, and you know what I mean? Like, every time I get a grip on my faith, I got to grip
I was just
another
about
handle.
to, yo, you must have,
That's
I was
attached
literally
to a
about to
hearse.
say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That you said that. And when you said that, I was like, yo, he gets his faith from holding somebody else's.
Yeah, so it's every time I got a grip on my faith, I got to grip another handle that's attached to her. It's giving me like, yo, you really playing, like, ease up. You right? Because damn. But fast forward, my grandmother's 97 now, and she actually lives at my mom's house. So, I mean, sometimes it's tough for me to go over there and go in her room and say, because I have this thing now where, like, it's giving me
Somewhat small
apprehensive
disconnect.
to connect, because she's 97. How long is she really going to be with us?
She gave us great years.
Right? And the
The reality of it all.
The reality of it all. So like sometimes I feel it. I feel that not wanting to connect with that, so I can save myself, right? Go into survival mode. And then, you know, when she does leave, it's like I'll probably be tight, like, damn, why didn't you go in, right? But then on the flip side of that coin, when I finally do choose to connect with someone like who I love, where it stems from Static, she might slice and dice me too. So where does Left win in the terms of like being open to give emotion? So it kind of shut me down to be disconnected. And those are the things I had to learn along the way throughout this year. So that's why as soon as, you know, a lot of the times I had to check myself, bro, writing this album, because there's certain lines I would be that sound cool. Lines that sound cool.
But not cool.
But they're filling up space. You learn that as a writer, like how can I trim fat? It's one of the biggest editing pieces, I think, that's so important. So to kick the hook off, lately it's been hard to connect with people that I love so much. I can never get too close, but don't you go away too far. It's that tug and pull of like, I want to be selfish for a minute. I don't want to get too close, but don't go nowhere.
I don't want you to leave. I still need you, right? Stay right there. I'll be there.
So it's like that space that's real gray.
It is the gray space.
Yeah.
Truthfully, it's the gray space.
And so that's the inspiration of that record. And I mean, it has some of my favorite verses on there, like I gotta do better. I know it's getting bad. Trying to figure who I am from my mom and my dad. Trying to figure who I was to who I'm trying to become.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
When you said something about figure out who I am through my mom and my dad, that shit crushed me. Because I'm adopted. I never met my mother or my father.
Wow.
I've always had that personal within myself.
Wow.
Who am I like, my mom or my dad? So when I heard you said it, I'm like, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I got to because I'm just so authentic. Yo, I kind of shed a tear.
Wow.
Because I said, damn. That right there was like, bow. Like, damn, somebody else feels like that? Because I've been feeling like that for 50 years. I never laid eyes on my biological parents in my life. All I know is my parents. Don't get me wrong, I got two great parents, love them to death. They're my everything. But When I heard that, I said, damn.
Wow, bro.
I sunk in the truck for a minute, like, damn.
I appreciate you sharing that with me. It's crazy. That record specifically, again, it hasn't come out yet, right? But I've had 3 people cry in front of me from that song specifically. And I'm just like, wow, the fact that it's evoking that kind of emotion, and you telling me that kind of made you tear up. I mean, like, part of me is like, damn, I don't want my music to, but the other part of it is because it's in a good way. Right?
It's a great way. It's not even damn. It's like, it should be damn. This is what I wanted. I wanted to touch that part. You know what I'm saying? Because it allows, what it made me feel like I'm not alone.
Right.
And me and my sister are adopted. So it kind of made me think about her. But it made me feel like, damn, I'm not the only one that even feels like that. And don't get me, like I said, my parents are great, but they never know your true physical. And for somebody to put that in some lyrics and you sit there just riding, it's not like I expected to hear this. Like, oh shit.
And for someone who grew up with no parents to find out that someone could say that who grew up with parents, there's a common ground there too, right?
Right.
So, yeah, it's just everything's disconnected. The way I think it was written was so trying to figure who I am to who I'm trying to become and still give a feeling even know that I'm numb. I know I'm off some days. I don't pick up every call some days. I guess the only thing I found is that I'm lost some days. Gave my all always and I can't get it back. That's why I never get too close because I can't get attached. It's just the yin and the yang of it all, and I was just like, man, this record is so special. And on top of that, I put my boy, we got my man Eric Hall to play sax on that.
He killed that. That was a marriage. That was a marriage.
Shout out my man Carl, because he planted the idea in my head, like, yo, if it needs some brass, and I was like, you think so? He's like, yeah, like if a sax came in right here, and I was like, wow. I was like,
it kind of took me when Nas did the shit with his father, and he had his father playing the sax. That's where it took me to.
That's crazy, and that record was crazy too when they did that together.
But
it just gave it the feeling and the color, and yeah, that record is so special to me. And the interlude to it, to tee it up, to me that was also another tearjerker because
I said, what the fuck is he doing? Not to cut you off. I said, what the fuck? Where the fuck is he going with this? You know what I'm saying? With that, I was gonna bring that up. I said, where the fuck is he going with this? And then I said, damn, he just put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, man, that was my man JT who played keys, and my girl Shamira, man, she was incredible on that interlude, and it gave it like this. To me, it was like the Yebba approach. Like, yeah, my voice note was there, but I didn't even have to be on that, man. Just like the notes she was hitting, and that's where I was just like, wow.
She reached some pinnacle notes on that track too, bro.
Incredible. No auto-tune, nothing. I remember I engineered it, so it's just like, I'm sitting there like, wow, this is, it was incredible, man. That whole experience was nuts.
Disconnect really is the soundtrack to my life.
I appreciate that, man. You and me both.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna get that deep, but I understand. I completely understand, and it makes you sit there and you think. And I think, for me, that's why I love your music. Because if I can't listen to this shit and not have a thought and just be like, okay, don't get me wrong, we love to pop bottles, look fresh, talk about the whips, but that's cool. But reality. I'm not living that reality right now. I'm living the reality of a man, father, grandfather, et cetera, et cetera. At 50, still striving to figure out what's my end goal. And not afraid to say anything about that, because people kill me with this, oh, I know where I'm going. No, you don't. You don't really know where you're going. Do you know who you are? And that's what your music takes us. Your music points to us. It's that mirror that says, do you know who the fuck you are? Because Leff is telling you who he is. Do you know who you are? You know what I'm saying? I got to go with my classic, man. This is my classic, man. Touch the Sky is mine. I feel like Touch the Sky was Through the Wire.
Wow.
That was your Through the Wire for me, because you name dropped, you talk shit. Even the part when you said, yo, I wanted to get my diamond cut. Like, I just said, yo, excuse my, I said, this motherfucker is on his shit on a whole nother level, man. It was just,
because you're so
it
close.
was witty.
Yeah, man, when I wrote that, I went back to a place like when I really reflected on just the things I've done and the people I've been around for real, I was just like, yo, You know what I mean? Like,
That's on your resume.
it was not even about the resume, bro. It was a life experience. I remember going to this show because as a kid, like I said on the record, I always wanted to get a deal with Rockefeller.
Right.
Because I was heavily influenced by that movement, and just from like the artists, the sound, what they stood for independently, it was just different. And I remember going to a show in Allentown with Bleak and them, and I didn't know Bleak like that, you know what I mean? But I was there, and I remember walking behind him to the stage, and I just had like this realization moment, like, yo, this is what it would be if you were signed to Rockefeller. You're behind Memphis Bleak right now, about to go on stage, like not to perform, but just to go with him.
I'm with you.
And I'm just like, bro, this is it. You know what I mean? Or you're right there. And so, again, that's why I like, yo, you're right there, and to not get your diamond cut. You know what I mean? I wanted to like
But it
frame
made
that
sense
moment.
though. It was picture. Yo, bro, was literally picture perfect.
Yeah.
The way you put that together, because you could have went somewhere else with that verse.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? Running around with Bleak, da 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 da. You didn't do that.
No, I wanted to just highlight these pivotal moments in my career,
Right.
like you know, working with Fetty Wap the night my grandmother passed, or
Getting the credits.
getting the credits.
Talking about how you met people in a documentary. Now they gonna document and remember me.
Yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
that witty wordplay was like, what? I
Man,
was
that
like,
might be the most legendary verse on the joint.
come on,
It
man.
was crazy. When I first was building the project, I wanted that to be the intro at first. Because I was like, yo, if you don't know who Leff is, you know now. And I was going to have that be the intro. And then eventually, as I was building it, I was like, wow, what a smooth landing to really bring it in, to tie it all together.
So is that why Touch the Sky is the last track?
I think so, because it was funny. I had a first verse on it that went to a second originally, and then so many people gravitated to the second verse. I found myself cringing playing it like, wait till you hear the second verse though. And when that happens, why wait?
Can we get a skip of the first verse though? Can we? Yeah, you gotta let that out.
Yeah.
You gotta let that cat out, man. Even if you throw it on the gram one time for the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was the only. Like I told you off air. I was a little upset. I was looking like
more,
I
right?
ain't gonna front. I was chasing. I'm like, yo, what the? No, he didn't.
You know what's crazy though? I know that I appreciate your energy towards this project. And what's crazy is because your tune changed from when you walked in. We named three of your favorite records, and you walked in and said Static was your favorite. And you ain't even bring it up. I'm saying that in a way where like, yo, I could just appreciate your excitement for the album because you ain't even named the record you said that it was your favorite.
I ain't getting to that yet.
I know, but I just peeped. I was just like, man, but I appreciate your ear on it, man. I can't wait till everybody hears it for sure.
So everybody probably want, yo, Static is my shit. Like I gotta let the culture know, yo, when you get this, yo, go to Static first. Please get the mirror, go listen to the first skit, go to Static. Static is for every human being walking the planet right now. I don't care who you with, what you going through. If it could be personal, it could be a relationship, it could be within yourself, it could be, yo, Static, what you did on that, bro. When you said I'd rather write about you, that verse just said, yo, it didn't erase you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I could pen about you, but I can't erase you. Yeah, powerful. Again, right? These are records that just don't have filler lines on it. Every line matters. Every line counts.
I couldn't for the love of me. Yeah, that verse was just like, I said, yo, how is he on point with this? Because it takes you to a place and a moment in your life that says, yo, this kid is feeling everything that I'm feeling, and he's probably going through a whole different situation. Even when you was talking about the young lady, how she said, oh, you want to make it about you. You want to turn on me. You put real life. I don't know if that's real. I don't know. I don't care to know. But it was like, for that moment, it was like, yo, hold up. Is he peeking in on different situations? Like, you touch so many different situations just in Static. And honestly, bro, I feel like your pen game on that Static, brother, was in a different space.
I appreciate it, man. For
I
real.
feel like your pen game, and that's just my personal opinion. Your pen game wasn't pain, it wasn't hurt, it wasn't bleeding. Yo, I just felt like a true person. Like I felt like that once again, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna probably say it 2 more times. It was that left holding up that mirror and you just, yo, look at yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Where is that coming from? Where did static come from, bro?
It comes from a place where you choose to fight for something that you love or someone. Right? Or going into the relationship side of the album or that emotion that I chose to highlight, like you don't see people fight for a better result sometimes. Most of the time people quit too early. You know what I mean? So I'll say things like, and despite this back and forth life shit, I still want to see my last name on your license. Just me being able to like animate that picture of like
Regardless of what we going through.
Still
I still love you just the same.
Right. I can love you through that unconditionally. Now, if you're not there, that's fine, but I have to at least say my piece to, you know what I mean? And it gives that tug and pull of trying to make something work. And I've been, you know, through that before. So it just, those are easy, those are like layups for me to paint those.
You painted a hellified picture because
shout out Justin Love though, because he produced that record. My man Show threw bass on it, and the synth at the end you hear, which creates this like, it just ties it all together sonically. But Justin killed the hook, man. Like went crazy.
I feel like the credits was coming down at the end.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I feel like, yo, okay, I'm watching something and I'm watching the credits come down. And let me sit here and watch the whole thing because this music has just got me here. And I feel like also with Static, was like, okay, it was like you was being a pilot, letting your people know, yo, we about to get ready to land. I'm gonna land with Touch the Sky. But be prepared, we about to land. Because I took you on this journey, man. I gotta ask you about Tell All, man.
Tell All is Tell All was different. Again, I remember writing to it, and
where was you at when you did that though? Where was you at mentally? Because that was one of my main. Where was you at mentally with Tell All?
I was in a place that I never thought I would hit. Right, like last year was one of the worst years I have personally experienced, just from so many different angles of my man got killed that was close to me. My ex kind of came back into the picture, and then she kind of disappeared. Going through all these emotions were raising up, and at the same time, and I didn't know how to handle it because I was always someone that was, that would feel something like I'm tight, but I'll get over it. But I would never be like, why does that get you tight? Like, where does that connect to, like, or whatever the emotion is? I would just kind of like shun it.
Oh, okay.
I never really dove into a space like where I can like trace it back to the beginning, and that comes from, you know, therapy and learning yourself, right, and figuring out, let me fix these things here so I can choose to move forward the right way. So when I'm talking on certain things in Tell All, I'm touching on everything from my faith to struggling, you know, mentally, to just all these things like, damn, all these panic attacks. I don't know how to relax. Therapy's once a week. My anxiety's tripling that. Hate got me doubling down. Love got me doubling back. If she don't pick up on my call, I'm calling another one back. I was really going through like it was a tough spot. And then on the second verse, again, right, I was going back to, sometimes you write fillers because it sounds cool. And I was like, yo, this is not the one as a filler. And like, you be intentional. So to kick off the second verse, like sometimes I feel like God takes it away just to see if I'll pray. Just to see. You know what I mean? So
I knew when you said that, I knew where you was at.
Yeah. But I thought it was a perfect description of where I was at, to be able to get it where it was. And my boy Alex, so again, if you know Ron, you know Dre and the Kingsmen.
I don't know of them. I heard about them. We working on something now. Just trying to sit down with the team.
Elite production, bro.
Shout out to my man Ron on this too, man. I gotta thank you for this, bro. Appreciate you.
My man Ron. So Dre actually produced this with Kingsman, and it was just a 4-bar loop. It was nothing crazy. And then my boy Alex heard it and was like, yo, Leff, you gotta send me that. Even if I just cut the idea and send it back to you, you gotta send me that. And he sent back the hook. And I was like, yo, this hook is crazy. Like, again, I was actually gonna kick the album off with Tell All because I'm ready to give you everything that you've been waiting for from me. You've been my inspiration. Like, it opened up the space where I could talk about everything I was going through.
And anything.
And anything. It was the safest space to go ahead and just let it all fly out. And without Alex, I wouldn't have gave those verses to that. He set the tone for me that was just like, he gave me an easel that I can just paint my entire truth on it at that time. And I'm grateful for that because that record was more for me. Again, a lot of these records are. And
That's why I asked you what space was you in.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that was the most personal record.
It was a tough spot.
You know what I mean?
It was definitely a tough spot.
But when you said the thing about God make you pray, I'm an individual. I know where you was at because we question certain situations. And I know I've always, in my faith, I never questioned God. Some people, why is this happening? God, I always flipped it and say, you know what? Allow your will to be done in my life. So I accept it, whether it's good or bad. Even when losing my mother, even losing my child. I never questioned God about, why is this happening to me? Why did my son pass away like this? I just can continue to keep living and keep exalting him. So when you said that, I understand where you was at because people get frustrated. Well, Lord, why, you start to, now you want to call on God when it hit the fan. Really, you should be calling on God every day every day you open up your eyes and step foot out that bed. Thank you, Lord. That should be the first thing you say, besides picking up your phone, see how many likes you got. You know what I'm saying?
But and that leads into that small convo I had with God where it was just like, just to see if I'll pray, the test of all faith in the place they lead them astray. What you need to prove, this between me and you, don't let them see me this way. Or maybe they should to see if I learn that every time that I play with fire that I get burned. So I'm using myself as a reference piece to the listener like, yo, look. If you
made yourself the target.
Right. I was already in the middle of the storm, you know what I'm saying? I figured why not create a thematic piece around it that just helps like paint that picture of just like, yo, sometimes this is between me and you. Don't let them see me this way. Don't let them see me this way. But you know what? At this point, this is what's supposed to happen, I think. So, again, my therapy, right, it helped me get through those moments. Crazy, right?
Nah, it's not. It's life.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in none of that shit being crazy anymore because at the end of the day, your journey is your journey, my journey is my journey. But as I'm on my journey, if I can happen to learn something from somebody else's journey, I look at it as a blessing. So when I hear the project and I'm listening to songs like that, I'm like, yo, this is the blessing that I needed today. Like, I could have listened to that when you sent it to me. I could have locked in right there, but I didn't lock in right there because I knew the time of day that I was in. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to knowing who you are. I said, I gotta listen while I know I'm riding somewhere. And it just so happened, yo, D, you gotta take a ride today.
Man.
So that's what I'm saying. It took me, it was supposed to be that time, that moment. And yo, that's what you bringing rawness to this game. And a lot of people are scared to give their self the target practice.
But at the same time, there's a shift happening too, I think, lyrically, where it's becoming more on the forefront. And this game I think it's becoming a space now where who can be the most honest?
I feel like that.
You know what I mean? Because that's what makes the music so great. There's 7 billion people in the world. Why would you tell anybody else's story but yours? You know what I mean? So I look at those things and I'm like, this is easy. It's actually not hard. All I got to do is tap into me. But people are afraid to be themselves or they don't want to allow people in certain areas, which is cool too. There's times I might leave things out that need to be private. But at the same time, when you have a gift, you have a vessel, you have a responsibility. I use the music as the vehicle. Like,
Yeah, because on your vehicle, you picking up people.
that's part of healing too. That's part of the healing
That
process.
is the healing process.
That is the healing process.
You know, part of it, that's
Yeah.
the healing process. Until you address it, you can't heal.
Mm-hmm.
Until you put something on that scab and that cut and that wound and address it, it's not going to heal up. If you don't put nothing on it, it's just going to stay raw and nasty. It's going to grow into something that may not get taken care of the right way. And that's how you get germs and all the other stuff. So honestly speaking, you have to have that. You have to have that. You know what I'm saying? Ah, man. Soothe.
Man. That's my guy EJ. I met EJ. Remember when Clubhouse was a thing?
Yes, it was.
So Soothe came. My guy EJ, who happens to be, he's a part of Royce the 5'9's camp.
Okay.
He's out in Detroit, and we connected on Clubhouse at the time. He sent me a packet of records, and Soothe was in it, and I was just like, oh my God, this record is crazy, and I caught a pocket on that. I caught a pocket on that to the point where it was out of here. And then I got my boy Bleeze on it. It's my guy. I call him my cypher brother because we're always in all the same ciphers and stuff. But it was to me, again, right? And when I was piecing the album together, I found all like the little spots that made the title make sense. Like even in Soothe, it starts off like, I cannot lie. I stay up, dodging my pride, digging up feelings inside, been crossing my mind. Fiddle lows after my highs, they just been killing my vibe. Like, so I'm always talking about being up. Tell all, another day of being triggered, another night of no sleep.
See?
Power trip, I've been up for 4 days and 5 nights. So like all these records is talking about like, yo, I used to overnight to rock the mic while working double, serving tables, like not sleeping. So it came at a perfect time, and Soothe I've had for a while, and again I was fighting for what should be the intro for a long time, but it definitely made the slot, because I feel like when you hear that opening, you're just like, wow, it just set a certain tone. You know?
Yeah, it definitely did, man. As we get ready to close, man, I got play a word game, man.
A word game?
Play a little word game, man.
Okay.
For you, I was thinking and thinking. Last night I'm thinking. And the only thing I really can come up with is Leff. Because Leff is so many different, what I taken from Leff, listen to the project, there's so many different things that everybody can relate to. But what about Leff, the person? The mysterious guy that people don't see. So the one word I have for you is really Leff. Leffway.
And again with this game, what is that? Would you want me to do? Break down the word? What does it mean?
Whatever it means for you.
So for those who don't know, Leff is actually my last name.
Okay. See, I didn't know that.
Right. So, but it means to me, one, just it's my foundation of who I am. But it's just going against the grain. It's going the other way. It's not being with the flock. It's you know what I mean. People always make fun of going the left way is the right way, or you know what I mean. And to me, that's what this is all about. Leff ties into exactly who I am, where I came from, and where I'm going. It's the essence of. It's not just my name, but that's my identity, man. It's going the left way.
And that's the reason why I asked you that, because you said something key, man. That's just who I am. I don't want to look like nobody. I don't want to sound like nobody. I'm just me. And honestly, bro, that's what that project, that's the greatest shit I got out your project. Man, I'm me, man.
Thank you, man.
I don't care what y'all got going on, what's going on. I know who I am. And I'm confident in who I am and what I can pen and what I can bring and what I can do. And I'm a double head entendre as well.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's why I didn't want to come up with, when I think about the word game with certain individuals I talk to, I just like to make sense for them, what fits them. And I feel like for you, you stay in your lane, but you can switch lanes when you choose to. But the difference with you, man, is that you're not afraid to go all the way down the road. Some people just want to, okay, I'm going this far and that's it. Oh, I'm going to just go over here and I'm cool. You just want to keep going. That's why I said your music is like a journey. You put us in this car and we just going to ride. We going to ride.
And I'm with that, man. I'm very much with that. And I appreciate you too. I appreciate your ear. I appreciate your words on from this project. I appreciate you just being honest and being right there with me, because that's what it's meant for. That's what it was supposed to do.
I need everybody to tap into this project, man. Yo, let's talk about this listening party that you got coming up for the culture, man.
Okay.
Let them know the location, the time, the date.
Yeah, so the listening event is going to be on Thursday, February 27th at the Reverie 1. It's 1 West Englewood Ave, Englewood, New Jersey. And I want to put together an event where, because usually when we do these things, like we'll just have like a space where all the creatives that were a part of the album can come in. And I love creating a platform for people to network.
Right.
So like it's going to be, for me, those kind of things is no more joy than just seeing like someone who's singing on track 7 found out that's who played, who produced.
It's connecting the dots.
Yo, you
did that?
You did number 5. I'm singing on the hook. Oh, that was you. Yo, let's exchange. I mean, that's like, and to watch that happen. I've seen it, and it's the most beautiful thing when it comes to music. But this time, I wanted to do that and open up the doors for
new listeners,
core fan base, real supporters, people that just genuinely, and yo, let's experience the album together with me and my team and the creators of the process and the consumers all in one space, and just be able to push play and create that vibe. So that's what I wanted to do.
That's dope, man. What does this project mean to you, bro?
This project means to me, it's a great question. There was no intention behind it, but there's no expectation, so there's no disappointment, right? This project was something I had to do for me. This wasn't about me trying to get a record deal from it or me trying to impress people. This was me getting out real shit, and I wanted to give back to the people who really do mess with me. I got a lot of people who hit me like, yo, when are you gonna drop music? All those records on your hard drive just collecting dust, man. Again, some of these records are older, and people who really genuinely like my music, they know it's there, and they want it. So I was like, yo, let me just do this, man. Let me like really, and this is for the independent core people who genuinely mess. And if it goes somewhere and it does something, great.
Right.
But I'm not about to sit here to create, to get the result of, and it's not guaranteed and all that. I've been down that road. For me, this is me doing everything that's in my control. And me focusing on that and reaching the people that it's supposed to reach, because I'm realizing a project like I Used to Sleep at Night is tapping into so many different people in so many different ways that it's important that it's out.
Yeah.
So if I gotta, that's what we're doing. That's, to me, that's what the album means.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I appreciate the album.
Appreciate it.
Yo, I'm looking in both cameras. Yo, this is one. This is, yo.
Thank you, man.
Come down to the spot. It's free. It's free. This shit it's free. I don't care if you're an MC. I don't care what you doing. Come down, man. Meet the man behind the mirror, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet everybody,
you know what I'm saying?
Greet everybody, and introduce people to each other. And I love that, man. And being able to enjoy the music and break it down. I love stuff like this too. It's just, it all helps kind of bring this stuff to life. And I appreciate the platform, bro.
Yo, King. Yo, it's the voice of the culture, man. With my man Leffway, album dropping, Retarded. Might be one of the hottest albums to drop this year. Ain't no might, it's one of the hottest albums to drop this year. The project is therapeutic for anybody. I don't care what you're going through, ups, downs, highs, lows. We can get it. He has massive collective hits, and I'm giving him his props on that. Go check out him on Bars 95. Let the people know where else they can find the music at that don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any other projects or any other things you got out there, where can they go look for that? Because I'm going digging today.
I know. I'm gonna send you. There's 2 projects on SoundCloud right now.
Okay.
That's how old you could tell it was from that time. And then I have another project called Paris in Maryland that's out on all platforms. And then I Used to Sleep at Night is on the way.
Yo, I said in the beginning, man, this was timeless. You know, And I'm saying this to the coach to let you understand, you know, like his joints on here that was done last year that still resonate to today, this time, this moment. So whatever you're doing in life, man, don't shelf it. Stick to it. Stay grinding. Stay hungry.
Let it out.
Let it out. But let it out when you comfortable letting it out. Don't chase the masses. Don't chase the hype, man.
And shout out my man Oz too, because he was like, Left, man, this project is so crazy, right? And all the favors and help and collab that I pulled in for this project, don't just put this project out and say, yo, album out now. Like, really, really campaign it, bro. Really make it make sense. And he was right, because I'm not calling all these people for all these favors and making all this incredible music and then just not going to campaign or push it or try to get it where it needs to go. So this is a part of that effort, and I appreciate you again for giving me the platform.
That's why I did it. It was only right, man. And for the people that don't know, this is my first time meeting my man.
Yeah.
So we don't even have that table. You know, we just vibed a few times on the phone, and here we are sitting down. Yeah, you know what it is, man. It's the voice of the culture, man. It's Leffway. Yo, see y'all on the next one, man. Love is love. It's the round table.
Love is love, man.
Love. My man.
Oh my God.